This is the channel how to apply for things. Will be most concentrated on international student issues, where we'll be applying for visas, applying for bursaries, same with local students or permanent residents, students that hold non-citizen South African IDs as well, showing you how to apply for university bursaries and study visas alike. So I just wanted to make some important announcements before we get forward. This application guide is for those that are going to be applying for South African study visas in South Africa, who are currently inside the country, probably studying at a university or high school, trying to renew their high school visa, or trying to renew their university visa. For those who are in high school, who would want to change from a high school visa going into a university visa, I shall have that step-by-step guide by this end of the week, next weekend, so that you know what to do, because it is a requirement for institutions like universities for you to have a study visa. For those who are studying currently in grade 12 and do not hold any visas, after you finish your writing, would recommend you going back into your home country and applying for the study visa at your home country, because you are not allowed to apply for your first study visa in the country unless if you hold valid asylum and refugee, of which that is a video for another day, that I will iterate how to transition from asylum / refugee status into a study visa if you want to do that. So we'll just start by searching for the website. You would have to search VFS DHA apply. So VFS means Visas for South Africa, and DHA means Department of Home Affairs, and you click apply. Normally the top result should be this one that says apply for a visa, VFS Global, which will take you to the step-by-step guide. For those who might click on the other link, it will take you here, and you'd have to say apply. You would click the apply for a visa tab. But if you happened to click this link, which is DHA visa information in South Africa, you're gonna see a page like this. Please just click visas, South Africa visa and permit application / renewal, which in turn will take you back here. Then you click the apply for a visa tab. Then here we already know what visa we're applying for, which is the study visa. You're going to go into begin your application, which is under here. If you've previously used this website before, you'd know that you can click if you've already registered previously and have your login details, click here. But this is for the old website that VFS has, and VFS has a new website for applications, so please do not click here, but go, if you're applying for the first time, click here. You're going to click there. It's going to take you to another tab which looks like this. This is the old profile. This is what it used to look like, and now it is different. So please just read the instructions on the right, which are important instructions. Please read carefully before you proceed with the application. Attention applicants. Kindly note from the 6th of October 2025, all new application forms for all categories except AEP exemption, which is the Angolan exemption payment, transfer and rectifications and appeals, must be submitted via our new platform. I will explain transfers and rectifications and appeals on a later video, and for the Angolan exemption permit as well, but these are normally done at your respective embassy. The Angolan exemption permit, same with the Lesotho exemption permit, same with the Zimbabwean exemption permit as well. And then you can continue reading. please note that if you have started an online form using the old platform, you'll still be able to proceed and complete the application process. But if you haven't paid on the old platform but you've already entered your details, I would recommend you do your application on the new website. This is because the old platform is plagued with bugs and error messages where it takes a 15-minute endeavor for you to just apply, turning it into a 3-4 hour or 2-3 day endeavor because the website keeps crashing on the old website. And then you'd say to submit an application using the new platform, click here. As you can see, each applicant will need to fill an online application form. Applicant is required to select the right category of visa/permit for each applicant. That's if you're going to be applying for multiple people. Location selected during the online process will be the Visa Facilitation Center where the applicant will apply. So this depends where you are in South Africa. If you're in Johannesburg, you click Johannesburg. If you're in Nelspruit, you click Nelspruit. If you're in Bloemfontein, so in turn. Payment to secure your online appointment can be made in two methods: an online payment via debit/credit card through the secure online portal, or a prepayment at Standard Bank by downloading and completing the online generated bank receipt and depositing the cash into the nearest Standard Bank. Handwritten cash deposit slips will not be accepted. Please just note that yes, here it says 3 working days, but VFS is currently transitioning in the application, hence it takes at least 3 weeks for payments to clear. So I recommend using your card. Let's just click here for now so we can start the application. So where if it's your first time here, please just go to the right side and then you'd sign up, and then you'd write your email, write your phone number, click the get OTP, and it will send the OTP to your email. So it will look something like this. And then you'd enter your cell phone number in that sense. So you'll enter your cell phone number and click the get OTP. Then it will send the OTP to your account. But I already have an account under this website. So I'd have to go into the login page. It will not send me an OTP because I already have an account here. So you will go here if you already have one. You click how to apply. Please note that this website has no password at all. It works with OTPs. So it won't ask you to create a password or anything like that. And after you get your OTP, you just type it in. As you can see, it is hidden so other people cannot see. You're just going to have to sign in this manner. It's going to take a while for it to look like this. Don't worry, when you enter the first time, it's not going to look like this. It's just because I was dealing with an application on everything on how to show you guys. So we'll go in for now and just click dashboard, and then we'll just say start a new booking, and I'm just gonna click yes. So when you enter for the first time, it will look like this. So you're just gonna choose, as I said before, if you're applying from Bloem, Cape Town, Durban, George, Johannesburg, Kimberley, Nelspruit, and all these other places. At the current moment, we'll just click Johannesburg. We'll just click Johannesburg. It's gonna ask you for the application type. You will have to click study visa, temporary residence visa, because a study visa is a temporary residence visa. So you're just gonna say temporary residence visa. You're going to click that. It's going to ask you application subtype, which is what it's choosing here, which is going to be the TRV, which stands for Temporary Residence Visa. And we're renewing our visa. I will talk about the change in existing conditions, and I'll talk about the TRV as well on later videos. So we're just going to click the TRV renewal. It's going to tell you the earliest appointment date you can get if you were to make a payment today. But if you're not making a payment, please just you make the payment as soon as possible, as dates tend to be scarce at some moments. So you're just gonna say okay. Then it's gonna ask you were you part of a Zimbabwean special project. This is for people that hold the Zimbabwean exemption permit. If you do have the ZEP, which is a Zimbabwean exemption permit, you'd have to click yes, and then you'd have to type in the ZEP permit number, and then you can continue with the application. If you don't, you just click no, and you're going to it's going to ask you for the application subtype category. We're looking for a section 13 study visa. As you can see, study visa section 13. As you hold, then it's going to ask you date of first entry into South Africa. This is for those that entered South Africa for a visa. So it's going to it's asking you for the first day or the first time you came into South Africa holding a valid study visa. So we're just gonna pick maybe 2021. If you're in high school with a visa, you're gonna pick the year. You don't necessarily need to remember the exact date, just the year and the month. So we'll just say 2021 and came for university at that time at the 8th of January 2021. So I'm just gonna say save and continue. It's going to ask you for your particulars here and what you, so when you're applying, please just have your passport with you next to you. So just say the name is Test, surname is Test, the name is Test, and a date of birth for the individual code Test is January 2001, the 11th. You're going to write the address of where you're staying in South Africa, not your home country. So we'll just say 12 Test Road, Sandton, for instance. It's going to ask you for your contact number. You're going to have to write your contact number, and then after it's going to ask you for your passport number. So it could be the passport that you have, which is whether it's from Congo, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Lesotho, or Swaziland or Eswatini in that instance. Then it's gonna ask you the passport that issued the country that issued the passport. My bad, sorry. So just click and just say Croatia, for instance, or if you're from Zimbabwe, you click Zimbabwe, you can just type it in and it will show up, or Botswana in instance like that, it will show up, or Namibia in an instance like that. Just choose Namibia for now. It's going to ask you for the issue date of that passport. When was the passport issued? Please just look at your bio page. It's going to write when the passport was issued. So let's say it was issued around the 18th of November 2021 and is going to expire 2031 on the 10th of November, for instance. Here it says if you have any other identity document issued by the government, provide details. And sometimes when you apply this specific wording saying if you have any other, it won't show up. So you know that the last three sections, type of document, number, and expiry, you can enter that. So if you want to, if you have an ID number and you want to give them, you can input it there. But I recommend just leaving this section blank unless you have dual citizenship and you want to let them know that you also have citizenship from another country. Then you're just going to click save and continue. Afterwards, it's going to ask you date of entry. This is the time where you entered South Africa with a study visa, similar to what I said on the prior particulars of the applicant. So you're just gonna say 2021, again the same dates, let's just say 8th of January 2021. On the visa number, please do not enter the one that says reference number, where it's JHB or ZWE for those that have got that visas in Zimbabwe. You're going to look for something called the control number, which is normally at the top center of your visa. And normally it starts with the letter A, so it could be AA or A and the number. So we'll just say, for now, we'll leave it as this. Just say AA. It's going to ask you for the type of visa that you hold. You're going to say study visa if it's a study visa, research visa if you have a research visa, and so forth in that instance. But this is the study visa renewal, so the type of visa should be study visa into your study visa. Then we'll say place of entry. This is where you came to South Africa. How did you enter the country? Through OR Tambo, through Beitbridge, or through any other border post from Lesotho or Eswatini or Namibia, or those other border posts in the sense. So we'll just say OR Tambo for now, or you can write it in full if you want to, OR Tambo International Airport, if you want to do that. And then it's going to ask you the date of expiry of your current visa. So we'll just say December 31, 2025, if it's expiring this year in 31 December 2025. If you're seeing this video maybe in 2026 and it's expiring in 2026, please select the year 2026, December 31st. If it's expiring at that time. Please do not try to renew your visa if it's still got a year or two remaining. You can only restart renewing a visa at least 60 days before it expires. So that's the latest you can. The earliest I would say you can start renewing it at least 6 months before it expires, in my opinion. And I've also consulted some visa officers as well from VFS, where they say it'd be good if people start applying 5 months before it expires, so they can get their visas before it expires, which enables them to travel the country, go home for the holidays. Whereas if you're applying too late and you cannot leave the country, as you need to wait for your outcome, and then at the end of the day you end up having to stay and experience Christmas and New Year here in South Africa, where everyone else in your family is back home for the holidays. We're just gonna ask here which is purpose of entry. We just say to study my undergraduate. If you came here to study your undergraduate, if you came here to study your initial visa, which was to study for high school, and you're still continuing with high school, you just say to study high school in RSA. You can write that. But for now, we'll just stick with to study my undergraduate in South Africa. Then here it's going to ask you details of any subsequent visa issued to you or most recent renewal thereof. This is essentially just saying, can you enter the details of the most recent visa that you have or an old visa that you have? So if you've only had one visa, you would enter the visa details of the visa that you currently hold. If you've had two visas, we've just entered one of the visas here, the one that you currently hold, and then you'd enter the details of the one that you previously had. If you've had 3 to 4 or 5 visas, please just enter the one that you have now, which we just entered that one that you're trying to renew, and just the previous one you had before you got this new one. So we'll just say type of visa, which is study visa, Date of permit is when the permit was issued to you. So we'll just say the previous permit was issued to me around October in 2023, and it expired. Yeah, it was issued to me 31 October 2023. And for those that apply for who got a renewal in South Africa, it will have something like issued at head office. If you got it outside the country, it'll write Harare, Windhoek. If you write Harare from Zimbabwe, it will write Windhoek. If you're from Namibia, it will write capital, all the offices that you applied in your respective country. Date of issue and renewal is when that visa was issued to you, as we have already selected. I know they asked for it twice. I do not know why, but we'll just say 31st of October 2025 is 2023, sorry, because that's when we got that one, which is the 31st of October 2023. Then it's going to ask you date of expiry. When did that previous visa expire before you got the new one? So we'll just say it expired 2024, the 31st of December. And then that's when you applied and got this new one. Then here it's going to ask you a visa is required until. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, because now you have to gauge when you want your next visa to expire. So if you are currently in a university student, maybe you failed one module and it got increased by one more year, but you also want to go into honors after that, please factor the honors in. But if you're in your final year and everything is going well and you're applying for a visa for your honors and you would also want to go into masters, please factor in that masters as well. So we'll just say a visa is required. Let's say you're in your final year this year, meaning you're going to do honors. Honors is 1 year or 2 years. Please factor that in. But if, let's say, we're just going to do an honors, which is 1 year, meaning it's going to expire 2026, and then maybe my master's is going to be 2 years, then we want it to expire 2028 around December on the 31st. If you want to, you can also factor in your graduation at that time, which you can say 2029, and you want to maybe to expire around May, maybe the 31st of May. This accounting for that you're finished at the time and you'd want to graduate at that time. Then here it's going to ask you purpose of the visa. It's asking you, why do you want it? Why do you want a visa? And why do you want that visa to expire on the 31st of May 2029? So you write to study my honors degree and pursue my master's and graduate afterwards. So you can write that. That is the information that the VFS officers that side would like to see, whether why are you doing that, why are you applying, as you also attach documentation from the institution that say you've been accepted into an honors program. Here where it says declaration by authorized representative employee, this might not show sometimes. The one that is written in bold here, it might not show sometimes, but just know whenever it starts saying representative first name, this is if a company is applying on your behalf or the institution is applying on your behalf, which is very rarely. So you normally apply for this yourself. So you do not need to fill these ones. Anything that's written representative, please just do not fill those in. And then you have declaration by authorized head of educational institution. You just, this one you have to fill, because if you try to save and continue, it will give you an error and not allow you to continue, because this is a study visa. Applicant grade, which is either primary for primary school, secondary for secondary school, tertiary for tertiary institutions. If you're a university student, you write tertiary, you would leave it that. An applicant here, you're applying for 2026. Application type, you're applying for an honors of that, whatever you're going to be doing. But if you're doing undergraduate, it's just going to be undergraduate. Please write it as one. Do not space it out. Please just write it as one word. Same with honors, or if you're doing masters as well. So for us in our application, we're doing this for honors, so we'll leave it at honors at this current moment. And here it says medical cover proof attached. Please select yes, as they are asking you that when you do come and apply at that time, will you have your medical cover proof attached to your application? It's not asking you whether you have it now or not, because I know some people will later on get the documents in order to apply. So just click yes, so that it makes the people who deal with your application aware that there should be a medical aid attached. If you click no, they'll assume it's not there, and you might get declined saying that you do not have valid medical aid cover for your duration in South Africa, as that's one of the regulation for a study visa, that you should have medical aid cover for the whole duration of your study visa, and some institutions will not register you if you do not have that medical cover while you study. So you just click yes and you say save and continue. And then here it's asking you SMS and a premium lounge. SMS is 40 rand, where it's telling you where it will be telling you the progress of your visa application, where it's going to tell you whether your visa has been received at the relevant office, it's being processed, and your visa is ready for collection, or we like to call it your visa outcome is ready for collection, because you can still get denied or rejected, and then you can appeal that decision. We'll talk about appeals on a separate video as well, where you apply and you get declined, and then you can appeal the decision. And then for premium lounge, this is for people who probably want to skip the queue at the office. When you're outside the facilitation center, in from the one that I'm speaking from is the one in Johannesburg. Outside, you would line with everyone else, but the minute you get inside, you'd be taken to a separate room where your application is dealt with swiftly, and you can do things fast and just go home afterwards. And if there's any document missing, then you're allowed to go collect that document and come back in. Unlike if you have general access, most of the time they are not very lenient. If you're missing a document, they tell you go get that document and rebook on their website, of which that's a tedious task, and then you end up paying twice, where for something where you could have just paid once. We'll just leave it on the SMS because it's very convenient. I'll also show you another video on how to track your application if you did not pay for the SMS fee. So we're just gonna say save and continue. It's gonna take us here. Normally your name and surname should be written here, as this applicant's name is called Test and their surname is named Test. So if you have any doubts or you want to re-look at what you've entered so far, you can just click review my application. It's just going to show you everything that you have entered so far, a phone number, everything, and all that is here, tertiary, and what you selected when paying here as well. If you have anything you want to change, you can just click the edit on the top right here, and then it will take you into that specific section. You correct what you have to correct, and then you click save and continue in order to go to the other side. So here everything is fine. We'll click confirm, and then you can go down to the fee breakdown that will show you what you're paying for. So the visa fee is actually 425, and then there's a service fee for them actually taking your application and processing your application. You pay 1,550. The SMS I've already explained is a 40 rand, and then the PCC fee is called the police clearance. So if you're doing a renewal in the country and you see people have been telling you that you need to get police clearance, you can just pay VFS and they do it for you. If you've already done it on your side by yourself, VFS will not take that police clearance. They want to do their own police clearance or police background check on you, so you have to pay for it. For some people, you might see here PCC, as there's an error sometimes on the website, it will be written 0. Please do not panic, because when you go for your application that side, they'll see that you did not pay for it, and you can swipe that side. You'd only use your bank card. You can swipe or tap for that 185 rand, and then you tap for it, and then they can take your biometrics and everything. As you can see, the total comes to 2,200. If you don't have the SMS, it's going to be 2,160. Yes. And if you don't have the 185, it might be 2,015 rand if you do not have that, or 1,000 rand, 1,985 if you also didn't take the SMS fee. You're just going to click accept, which says I declare that to the best of my knowledge all particulars supplied by me are correct and complete. You just have to click on this, as we read in the beginning, that there's the online payment or pay at bank. Do not choose the pay at bank option, as it takes at least 3 to 4 weeks to clear. Just click the online, you accept. It's going to take you to the pay you page where you enter your card's details. So you're just going to enter your card details here and pay. Please do not be shocked. For those with keen eyes, please do not be shocked that is written VFS Global Switzerland. And as I have talked to the VFS officers and asked them what's going on, they're just transitioning to a better system, and this is why the pay at bank options take a while to process. But they're currently using their global Switzerland account, as that's where their head office is located. So please just pay, don't be shocked. And then after you pay, it will take you back to your page, and it will look like this. Please ignore this one that we're doing. It will look like this, which is your name and surname, test, and then it will just say submission pending, because we haven't paid. So if we've paid, it will show up under our active applications, and then it will allow you to schedule an appointment. At that time, after payment, you should have received a receipt on your email. Please print that receipt out, as you need to present it to the VFS officers, so they know what you paid for, whether they can see whether you paid for the police clearance or not. If that document is not there, they will ask you to go print it outside. And if you have taken the general access, that's you booking another appointment. Taking the premium lounge, you can just go outside, print, and then come back in. And then after you've booked an appointment, it will send you an appointment letter. Please print that out as well. And then it will allow you, there'll be 2 options that will be written: download a VAF form. Please download that. That holds all the details we have been filling in on the document as we are applying now. And then please download the checklist as well. On the checklist, there are places for you to sign, and it looks like they are check boxes. Please do not check those boxes, as the VFS officer is the one that is supposed to do that. And as for signing, please do the signing at the venue. There will be a security guard or an officer there that tells you guys, can you please sign the document that you currently have? I think it's on page 3 and page 4 of your checklist. Then you can sign those in front of the officers. Then that is the whole application process for a study visa renewal. I will have a separate video later down the line telling you all about all the documents you require to have when applying for a visa. Thank you very much for tuning in. To the next time you come and watch my videos, as I try to explain everything that we can do in order that everyone gets their visas in time and study in South Africa. Thank you very much, and good day to you.